In the late 60s, there were race riots in the United States, and after that, there were protests about the Vietnam War. And for a while, things calmed down, and now in the past 10 years, we've seen a significant rising in some protests and rioting. The excuse has been that there was some terrible wrong done, and therefore the rioters were expressing their anger. But anger over a situation does not mean that you destroy other people's property because you're upset. Well, if you're joining us in going through this 6-month reading plan through the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 119, verses 105 through 120, and I encourage you to read that section. Well, Psalm 119, 105 through 109 says this: "Your words are a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I have sworn it and I will confirm it, that I will keep your righteous ordinances. I am exceedingly afflicted. Revive me, O Lord, according to your word. O accept the freewill offerings of my mouth, and teach me your ordinances. My life is continually in my hand, yet I do not forget your law." Well, the killing of George Floyd, a black man by white police officers, was a horrendous act. And as the videos seem to show, Floyd's life ended in a senseless act of ego and stupidity. Things like this should never happen. Psalm 109 says, "My life is continually in my hand, yet I do not forget your law." The principle is that we are in control of our own lives to do whatever we want, whether you're a believer or a non-believer. Each one of us has a free will to act in any way we want, but the believer's free will is mitigated by several other things. First, the believer has the Holy Spirit living inside of him or her. Therefore, we have access to the mind of God at every given point in our lives. We do not have to act irrationally. We can stop, pray about our actions, and then act in a way that is consistent with our walk with Christ. Secondly, a Christian is to be a witness for God. We're to be an icon of Christ, a picture of what other people are supposed to see when they see us. If they see a normal human being, then Christ is being dishonored by the believer. It is the believer's responsibility to look like Christ. Thirdly, a believer has a responsibility to take action rather than sit on the sidelines. If a believer can change the heart of one person to his or her actions, then he or she should do it. They should not participate in the activities. They should help people make better decisions about the actions that they do in their lives. Finally, it's the responsibility of every believer to teach the sanctity of life, wherever he or she goes. And this does not only mean in cases of abortion. Every life is precious, and it should be presented as much as humanly possible. It is the believer's responsibility to tell those things to the world and then to act on those beliefs. Now, we can't forget God's law just because we're angry at something. When we are angry, we must endeavor all the more to remember God's law so that we might act in a manner pleasing to God. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.